call the August 3rd Planning Commission meeting together. Could you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance.
Ms. Moore, would you take a roll numbers, please?
Zuzak? Here. Kaluza? Lilihai?
Here?
Here.
Eink?
Here.
Thank you. Do we have any changes to the July 6th Planning Commission meeting minutes? All right, we will let those stand as recorded. Planning Director Maury, do you have any announcements for us tonight?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good evening, Planning Commission members. I don't have any handouts for tonight, but I do have a couple of announcements. First of all, we just have the one public hearing tonight. If that item is acted upon and forwarded to City Council, we will be canceling the August 17th meeting because we do not have any new public hearings scheduled for that date. And then also, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that this is our video production specialist, Tim Sheehan's last meeting. He is leaving the city to go find job opportunities elsewhere, and this will be the last meeting. You don't usually see him as part of the meeting. He's behind the scenes. That doesn't mean he's any less important to running these meetings than the rest of us are. So he's been here about 5 years and has been part of over 120 Planning Commission meetings during that time, and we really do appreciate the work that he's done here. We will miss him and we wish him well. So thank you. That concludes my announcements this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Maury, and thanks to Tim for all of his work. If anyone's here that would like to speak at the public hearing, please sign up on at the notebook at the back of the table, and we'll call that to order. At this time, we'd like to have open the public hearing for All Energy Solar on behalf of Matthew Homuth for a conditional use permit to allow a ground-mounted solar energy system as an additional detached accessory structure and combined accessory structure area exceeding 1,500 square feet in the RS2 single-family residential district located at 10530 175th Street. At this time, I think we have the applicant, Mr. Homuth, joining us via Teams on the phone. We'd like to ask you to please present to us.
I'm also here, the actual contractor for the project as well. I was planning on presenting. I'm not sure if Matt is on or not, but anyways, yeah, this is installation of a ground-mounted solar project. The reason this was proposed as a ground-mounted solar project was because there's quite a bit of shading on the rooftops available on this property. This is a pretty standard residential system in terms of size. It's a 11.2 kilowatt system, which, like I said, that's kind of our typical residential systems, right around 10 to 12 kilowatts DC. This is proposed as 28 solar panels with a production that would offset the yearly electricity use at the property. And as far as actual square footage, I think we had that in there, but it's 579 square feet of solar panels. And like I said, 28 solar panels for an 11.2 kilowatt system.
Thank you very much. I believe that was was it Buchel?
Yeah, Colin Beekle. I work for All Energy Solar, the contractor for the project.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And now we'll ask Mr. Dempsey with the city to present.
Good evening, Planning Commissioners, Madam Chair. The request this evening is that the applicant, property owner Matt Homuth, who The property is at 10530 175th Street. And the proposal is to install get this. Here we go. To install a solar array on the property. This is a 3-acre parcel that is located south of 175th Street. 3 acres in area. It's consistent with the other larger lots that are in this vicinity. The property is zoned RS2, which is a single-family residential district, and that district allows up to 1,500 square feet of accessory building area, 2 detached accessory buildings, unless a conditional use permit is approved. A little background on this, the Planning Commission may recall last year that Mr. Homewood had requested was going to apply for a variance, which would have been an option, but the Planning Commission at their work session determined that the preferred option is to study this a little bit further and potentially amend the zoning ordinance to allow a larger system, array system, through a conditional use permit process and treat them as accessory buildings like any other accessory building. And so to go through the public hearing process for that zoning ordinance amendment as part of our annual update that we typically do for zoning consideration, zoning ordinance amendments, and the City Council approved that on June 5th, amongst a number of other code updates. So a little bit more information on the property here. This is, of course, the zoning, and it's RS2. It's the light yellow. This is the site plan that was submitted by the applicant. So here's 175th Street. Here is the house. It's a Rambler. This is a detached garage that was constructed sometime in the 1980s. This is a detached accessory building that was constructed in about 2015, I think, somewhere in that vicinity, maybe a bit later after Mr. Homewood purchased the property. And then there's also a detached building that's located a little bit further south here. That's on a different plan sheet. This is the solar array. You can see it's located considerable distance from all property lines to residential property to the west and also to the east, and then from 175th Street and of course further from the south. This is an image that was submitted with the application of the array. This is facing south for the unit. It's 11 feet tall, 42 feet wide. And this diagram demonstrates that it's going to be underground supply of power to the house. I put this together to show an recent aerial photo of the property. It shows the house in this location, the detached garage, the 16 by 4, I think it's 16 by 24, I'm sorry, that's a typo, 16 by 24 shed, and a 3-sided shed that's located here. This is also installed without a zoning permit, and the applicants agreed to remove this one. These two are allowed. The solar array will be the 3rd accessory building on the property. And I believe the total accessory building area is in the vicinity of almost 2,300 square feet total. And so with the solar array on the property and the 3-acre property, it's under 1% of the total coverage of the entire lot. One of the conditions for any excess accessory buildings or larger accessory buildings, we do typically require screening of these in cases where screening is required. As you can see, there's considerable trees adjacent to the property to the south. The view from 175th Street would show that the array would be right about in this location here. And staff's stipulation number 6 is recommending that 3 trees be planted. Perhaps 2 here, 1 here, or 3, it could be in this area, but to screen that from the public view, 175th Street. There are 6 stipulations in total, and there's also findings of fact for your consideration. And I'll stand for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Dempsey. I don't believe we have anyone coming forward or anyone on the phone. No. Okay.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
seeing no one in the audience and no one on Teams, I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor? Well, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. The public hearing is now closed. And we'd be open for questions from commissioners.
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Lillehei.
I'm thankful that this came to us in a work session. We had a chance to review it, and over time, we've got a good solution coming in.
Thank you. Doesn't look like we have any further questions. I'd be willing to entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I'll make a
Commissioner
motion.
Zuzick?
Motion to recommend approval of the Homuth conditional use permit, subject to the 6 stipulations listed in the July 26, 2023 planning report as amended, and approved of the findings of fact dated August 3rd, 2023.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Do we
Madam Chair?
need,
I don't think it was amended.
I was going to ask that. I think we need to state the motion because there was no amendment. Could you just,
Just as,
could you restate the motion?
Yes.
Commissioner
Motion to
Zuzick.
recommend approval of the Homuth conditional use permit, subject to the 6 stipulations listed in the July 26, 2023 planning report, and approval of the findings of fact dated August 3rd, 2023.
Second.
Motion and second. Ms. Maury, will you please take a roll call?
Zuzak,
Yay.
Lillehei,
Aye.
Zimmer,
Aye.
Ike,
Aye.
That's a motion will pass, and would like to say thank you for your time and for the presentation by Mr. Buchel and Mr. Homuth in previous materials, and ask Mr. Maury when this will be before the City Council,
at their August 21st meeting.
August 21. I don't think we have any other business before the commission, and I would make motion or adjourn the meeting.